Hey, Alex.
Hey, Andrew.
What's this?
This is Brains on the Outside.
And what would that be?
Oh, Andrew. Brains on the Outside. It's a podcast, man. It's a podcast. It's a comedy podcast about exploring creativity through ridiculous business ideas.
We come up with like crazy ideas about how to throw the perfect wedding and how not to throw terrible weddings.
Or how to throw a terrible wedding for the bad people in your life and a perfect wedding for the good people.
Yes. I'm very excited about this episode. This is a very businessy themed episode. We've got 2 cans of hard seltzer White Claw in front of us, and I think we're about to get the creativity is going to be really flowing.
I find it really funny that we almost never drink during recording.
Yeah.
And we certainly would never usually drink at work, but on this recording of a very business-focused episode, we fucking cracked a couple of brewskis. I said brewskis like a real man. And we're drinking mango hard seltzer.
Mango hard seltzer. The most creative of all the hard seltzers. We're spiraling. We need to get out. Shall we just start?
Let's go.
Let's go. It was a few weeks ago, but I was watching Apple's live stream, them announcing all their new products.
Fancy stuff.
I really had to hold back buying a iPhone 14. Because I already own a 13 and there's just no point really. But the thing that interested me was the new Apple Watch.
Okay.
Not the normal. I don't have an Apple Watch, but the Pro Apple Watch is pretty interesting because their entire marketing gimmick, their campaign, it seems like if you buy this incredible watch, you will never die. You can do that. You can climb to the top of a mountain.
Whoa.
You can swim to the bottom of the ocean. You can run an ultra marathon, and it will save your life. It has all this super fancy tech in it, GPS things, and it's got like diving apps specifically designed for these like very niche hobbies. And I imagine the way they're balancing out having this smaller segment of the population buying is they ramp the price right up.
Oh yeah, okay. So if you're a pro level BMXer, you can buy this incredibly expensive watch that will prevent you from
ever dying,
coming off your bike. And
yes, yeah. So that's exactly my idea. Like, can we make the Apple Watch Ultra 2?
Okay,
it's going to be more expensive,
even more expensive.
But the promise of saving your life for basically any extreme sport is so tantalizing. I think we can, if we just chuck another couple of extreme sports in there, we'll be good.
Okay, so the more extreme the sport, the more expensive the watch.
Exactly.
You're into trapeze.
Yeah.
You're into trapeze. You get the watch that has a special thing in it that hooks you onto the bar.
Yes. I mean, do you imagine it's like you fall and you can put your arm out and it'll like hook you back in, like Spider-Man?
I think when you jump,
it
detects whether or not you're actually going to catch the bar.
Yeah.
And if you're within a foot of the bar, an extra pair of hands comes out of the watch and grabs the bar for you and then winches you in.
I'm trying to imagine this is a really slick Apple advert.
Yeah. Or maybe it's a magnet. It's just a really big magnet.
Really big, you jump.
It's a really big magnet. It's like, drags you to the bar. Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at the most dangerous jobs in the world list. Bull riding.
Oh yeah,
is one of them. I'm not sure I support bull riding, but I think definitely there's a lot there of like this watch protecting you from the bull.
Oh,
of like if you fall off it, maybe it blows up like an airbag.
Oh yeah.
Or if the bull's coming at you, it's like super strong. It could take a bull charging into it at full force.
A bullhorn.
A bullhorn, yeah.
Straight in there.
And
then it squirts some anesthetic into the bull's face and knocks it out.
Yeah.
A bit of lavender in there and the bull goes to sleep.
Veal really chills it out. There's a lot of other really easy, low-hanging fruit, I think. I think there's snake venomers. Very high mortality rate. The people who milk snake venom out.
So you think like, not just extreme sports, but like extreme jobs in general?
I think we could target every market. This is a watch for the people who are out there risking their lives for us every day.
Yeah,
by milking snake venom, and that's easy. It's a lot of antidote. There's a little vial of like anti venom there.
All right, yeah. So if you are doing it, you pass out, and it's like, oh, you probably passed out because you got bitten. So
yeah.
Squirt the venom in. Squirt the anti-venom in.
This is when it's gonna be a pretty rough launch, I feel, where like it's covering a lot of bases. As you've passed out. We don't know if you've been in a car crash or because you've been bit by a snake.
Oh wait,
let's just inject you with the anti-venom anyway.
You don't buy a specific watch for the specific job. It's like Apple Ultra 2 snake venomer, Apple Ultra 2 killer whale tamer.
Maybe I have a question about that one, but maybe it's like the base watch is always the same, but the bands you buy are specific. Like like
modular.
Yes, because the bands right now are like designed. There's one for a runner, there's one for a diver, and there's one for something else, I think. So it could be each one. This is the normal watch, tracking all your vitals, GPS, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
Band, you're about to go free soul something.
Okay, yeah.
Add this band in.
Oh, nice.
You mentioned watch for killer whale tamer.
Yeah.
How's that? What's that going to do?
Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're getting maybe into something a little bit different here, Andrew, but I've always been afraid of falling into a whale's blowhole and not being able to get out.
I mean, that'd be a really rough way to go.
Yeah.
There's no good way, like, someone calling up your parents and being like, Alex died as he lived, falling into whales' blowholes.
Yeah, you fall in there, you get stuck, because apparently it's pretty big.
When you say stuck, do you mean like half in, half out?
Well, yeah, if you get half in, half out, legs sticking out the front, you go in head first. That's it, you've had it.
Because the other way, legs in, head out, is almost like now like you're like a weird mythical creature. How is this watch going to save you, though?
It sucks that because one way around, just the killer whale carks it because it can't breathe, and the other way around, you both cark it because you can't breathe. No, it's no good. There's no good way around here. So I think it detects if you're falling, and then a big extra springy rubber ring appears to prevent you going all the way in.
Oh,
yeah, and then it bounces you out.
So it's like around your waist.
Yeah.
Okay, so you fall in, activate, actually bounce right out.
Yeah, it's around your waist. You fall in, it drops you in there, and then a pepper comes out of the watch.
Yeah,
that makes the whale sneeze and it blows you out the blowhole.
Nice. I get that's good as well because you land in the ocean.
Yeah,
you have a little ring around you to keep your balance. What if the watch you fall into the whale's blowhole? I was like, okay, you're stuck. Now recall, we want to be able to get people out of every situation where we might be stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So the watch, what it does is it just like covers you head to toe in Vaseline.
As you go all the way in.
You're deeply slippy.
Yeah.
You go right through.
You're just going all the way in. Yeah.
All the way in. But this would help you in every situation when you get stuck.
As long as you wanted to go all the way in.
Or, okay, you're at a bad party.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do I get out of here? Tap, 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 tap. And you're just soaked in Vaseline. You just slide out.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Tell you, there's quite a lot of things that I'm worried about, and I think about a lot in life, Andrew. Another thing is when you're driving down the motorway and there's a truck in front of you and it's got scaffolding on the back.
Oh, yeah, that is scary, right?
Yeah.
Just hanging there.
And I'm always thinking like, what if I get core sampled by that scaffolding? What if it comes through on my windscreen and just goes all the way through me?
I had that fear when I'm walking underneath scaffolding.
Oh, man,
it can fall off.
Straight all the way through.
Core sample, just a whole vertical of me.
Yeah, because I don't know how they fix that problem. If you go to hospital and you've been core sampled, what do they do?
Maybe there's like, they open a room and there's like 200 core samples and they just give you a random one.
And just hope it fits.
Yeah, hope it fits. And you just have like, they sort of eyeball that, okay, I think Jeff's core sample could maybe fit in you, and you're just now 1/20th like Jeff.
Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually so what the Apple Watch does is when it detects the scaffolding coming towards you, it just tattoos your name on this core sample so that they know which one goes back in.
All the sensors and air pressure things, like, right, it's going to hit you left shoulder.
Yeah.
Quick tattoo.
It draws a cross on it as well so you can align it properly and it points to north. Head this way.
The ad today concerns, it's good timing because it concerns something we're talking about right now, which is risk and risk mitigation. It's very timely as well because we have based now effectively eliminated all risk from your life.
And while that is a good thing in some ways, it's also a bad thing. It's made my life really boring having all these different Apple Ultra watches in my life. Has made my life really dull and boring, and I don't have that same sense of danger or excitement anymore.
Yeah, well, this shop is it's aimed squarely probably for someone like you.
Oh, really?
It's like you go to the shop
Yeah.
and you walk in
Yeah.
and you do your shopping like normal.
Okay.
And you have your list. You know, I need like some toilet paper.
Okay, like
toothbrush.
a grocery shop.
Yeah, a normal grocery shop for anything. You go pay for it, and then the cashier comes, takes all your stuff away, and hands you another bag.
Okay.
So it's this version of Tesco only does pay it forward shopping. So you shop for yourself,
Yeah.
but you give it to the next person.
Oh, okay. So I get the person before me shopping.
Yes.
So this really is introducing some risk into my life. And depending on my allergies, it could be a lot of risk.
Yeah.
But allergies aside, I'm getting an interesting and exciting time because I tend to only go to Tesco to do the big shop. So I'm going to do I get the same price of shopping?
It is the closest value. Yes. It's pure monetary. There's no like trying to one for one replicate your stuff.
Okay.
They found like in sort of testing the shop that it's not as fun. Like people are going there for risk. They want to live on the edge. You've bought, £25 worth of groceries, but you might walk out with a bunch of light bulbs, and you gotta live with that.
That's the way it is.
That's your food for this week. I'm sorry.
That's nice. I mean, I like that because our big shop, can be, I don't know, quite expensive, but I might walk out with a plasma TV.
Exactly, right? And it's aimed at breaking you out of this cycle of like always buying the same thing, always eating the same stuff. It's like pushing you to try new things, even if that thing is a copy of this week's Hello magazine and a bunch of paracetamol and some pick and mix.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'd like to shop at this shop. What's it called?
So it's called Sharesbury's.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good one. Yeah.
If someone else has a business that they'd advertise, idea they like to tell us, they just like to say hello, how they get in contact with us.
There are 3 ways, Andrew. You can email us at brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
Nice.
Yeah. Or you can send us an Instagram message, Brains on the Outside, or you can send us a tweet, Brains Outside.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So, Andrew, while we're on the topic of risk,
Yeah.
this whole episode being about risk, I recently heard of a company that that helps to teach people about the risks of working on railway lines.
Right, okay.
And the way that they do that is they've set up a virtual environment, which is a railway line, and you put on a VR headset.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you put on a VR headset and you pretend to do some work on the railway line. And then
Oh no.
a virtual train comes rushing past you,
Splat.
just like at all the sound, the alarms go off and everything. And if you don't get out of the way, the virtual train drives straight through you.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's pretty mad, isn't it?
It's pretty scary.
But it got me to thinking about that's a big risk in a business.
Yes.
Like getting hit by a train, unpleasant.
Yeah.
But there are lots of small risks in a business like ours where I don't get that. There's no, I don't really understand the outcome of doing some of these things. Some of these health and safety things, I'm like, well, I don't need to do that. I'm just going to ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious if like you're a race car driver or, you're fixing train tracks, what your big problem's going to be.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I might get carpal tunnel if I type too much. I mean, I know that's bad.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So I thought we could maybe come up with a business that helps in a similar way people to understand what the outcome of not setting up your desk correctly would be, or of ignoring some of the health and safety stuff, or not filling in your risk assessment.
oh man, no. Poorly filled in your radar.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's my first suggestion. So a RADAC is like effectively a risk log where you write all the risks a project might have, and then you assign them a number of how likely they are to happen and how risky they are. Mm-hmm. Now, I think here we're not trying to teach you about like the effect of the risk from the RADAC. We're trying to teach you the risks of poorly filling in your RADAC. Okay. Right? So what we would do is we would randomly sample these risk assessment logs from your company. We'd find one that's clearly wrong.
Okay.
That's like, for example, it might be risk of being hit by a train by a construction worker. And they'd be like, oh, it won't happen very often. And if it does happen, it's going to be okay. Obviously, clearly wrong.
Yeah. And
then we would not engineer this in real life, but we start sending that person emails being like, oh shit, it's happened.
Oh my God.
You filled in your RADAC incorrectly.
And
you've miscalculated bad here, man.
Yeah, and the risk has come to fruition.
Yes, yeah.
This is real bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that would scare the living crap out of anybody, to be honest. And I like that hits a lot of different scales of risk as well.
Yes.
Something like you didn't fill in the risk mitigation for this deployment of this vending machine software that you're doing.
Right.
And we accidentally deployed the vending machine software to all of the cars that we also make, and now every car thinks it's a vending machine.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Can you get things from the car? Can you go put money in it? Like how the other fear is you deploy your software incorrectly to the vending machine and it sounds like shooting things out.
Oh,
high speed, yeah. Cans of Coke coming at you. See, that'll teach you.
Yeah.
You will fill in your project management forms correctly after that.
You'll either quit because you've been scammed.
Yeah,
by someone sending you an email telling you the risk that you.
But this isn't too far fetched, I guess, because there is companies there is ways of dealing with cyber threats that send you fake phishing emails in your company to see if you're going to click this email from your CEO claiming he needs your credit card numbers right now to buy some Amazon gift vouchers.
Yeah, that's so true.
This is just the next step.
And then the next step of that, right, is that we engineer it so there is a dramatic retelling of the actual risk that happens inside your office space.
Oh, okay. So we bring in actors who perform the car deployment script gone wrong.
Yeah, so it's like, in fact, you could do it it doesn't have to just be risks related to your product deployments and stuff, does it? It could be a health and safety thing.
Okay.
And they're demonstrating you need to practice good ladder health and safety for replacing light bulbs, because they don't, and they come in and they have a rickety old ladder that's all rusty, and they have they put a light bulb in their pocket, and then they climb up the ladder and they haven't turned the lights off, and they unscrew the light bulb and it's the whole lights everywhere flickering, and then they take the light bulb out of their pocket, and if they do, it smashes everywhere and fake blood goes all over everything, and they lift it up, this stump of a light bulb, and try and screw it in. And then they get electrocuted, and then the ladder falls over and melts. And everyone looking around is like, oh my God, they didn't practice good ladder safety.
I can recall when I was, it's half a memory. I must have been in primary school. And they took us to this big hall, and there was this amateur drama, don't do drugs style play. And it was so far beyond the realms of believable. This kid did one joint and now he's been shot by a drug dealer. I like this, but for please don't run with scissors.
Yeah.
But please always book your meeting rooms before you have your meeting.
Make sure you check in to the meeting room, because otherwise someone who emergency needs a meeting room to perform an appendectomy.
Oh my God.
Could burst into the room.
And it could be you.
Yeah.
If we have actors on hand, then I think the next step is your company contacts us, and they're like, we really need to get across how important it is to set your desk up correctly and all the angles right.
Mm-hmm.
So these two actors join your company covertly, as if they're normal employees, and they're there they're deep undercover for months or years. They're doing their job, they're doing it well. Everyone just thinks, Jill and Keith are just standard employees. And then one day there's a horrible desk-related accident set up, fake, obviously, in the office.
Like Jill comes in like bent double.
Yes, yeah,
because she's been sitting badly at her desk at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Really horrifying. And then everyone learned a lesson, potentially.
Yeah, I think if the health and safety officer notices that you are not sitting correctly at your desk at work,
right,
then while you are asleep, I think we go into your house and we replace all your clothes with very slightly smaller clothes that are also stiffer, so that when you get up the next day and you put all your clothes on, you're like, oh, everything, I feel a bit tight and I feel stiff as a board. But it's because your shirt is now made of wood.
Oh.
And you're like, oh, I can't move. And then when you get to work, you're like, oh, I feel real bad. And the health and safety officer's like, yeah, you do. Why do you think that is, Andrew?
You're 2 weeks late for filling out your computer chair assessment form.
You've been sitting hunched over for 2 weeks.
So obviously I'm in. I'll invest, obviously, but the legal ramifications of this, the lawsuits we are going to be fighting constantly, that's going to be really rough.
Yeah, the risk assessment on sneaking into someone's house and replacing all of their clothes is a really difficult one to fill out. It's a tricky one, but that's the key to risk assessments.
Yes.
The risk assessment is not there to stop you from doing something. It's there so you understand what's going to happen if you get it wrong.
I think that's a wonderful place to end this bit, at a place of real knowledge and imparting onto our listeners. Fill in your risk assessment sensibly, please.
So, Andrew, that was the show.
That was the show.
It's all about risk.
I feel more comfortable knowing that these products may one day make it into market and mitigate these risks. I did have one thought, though.
Yeah.
So we've I'll keep it very quick, but the Apple Watch, now it saves your life from all physical things with a little bit of social faux pas. What if it's like, oh my, do you going to have another pint? Like, you have to get really early to work and it gives you a little electric shock.
Oh,
it's like you're about to talk about someone and then the Apple Watch realizes the guy's behind your back. He's behind you. And it's like, maybe don't say that. Maybe we should wait for that story later.
Oh, perfect. Right, good. Show done?
I think the show's over now. If people want to get in contact, and they should, if you get in contact, we'll shout you out on the show.
Definitely.
Definitely.
100%.
100%. If they want to get in contact, how do they do that?
Okay, 3 ways. Email, brainsontheoutside@gmail.com. Twitter, brainsoutside. Or Instagram, brainsontheoutside. And I just want to say, I just met 2 of my niece's friends outside, Danny and Emily,
right,
who said they were going to listen to the show.
Oh.
Danny and Emily, if you listen to this episode and hear this message, I will give you each £5.
I'm actually really interested how this turns out.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I was going to offer to go halfers on the money, but it seems like this is your business deal you set up, and I don't want to get involved with it, really.
I'm still filling out the risk assessment.
So they can, if people can write in, they can follow us. There's another thing they can do, which is the best thing you can do is tell your friends about the show. The shows like this, people learn about them mostly through
word of mouth.
Word of mouth. That's when my brain's starting to fall apart now.
Please do tell your friends. Word of mouth means a lot to us. We've had the best month we've ever had.
Yeah, super exciting
of the show.
Yeah,
it's super exciting. We would love to keep that up.
Yes,
please tell your friends. Tell your mum. Tell your dad. Tell your brother. Tell your uncle.
If you get your dad to listen to this show, yes, you who's listening to this right now. If your dad listens to this show, I mean, I don't know what we'll do for you. What can we offer this person who's made a dad listen to their show?
If you send us your dad's birthday in an email, we will sing him happy birthday on the closest episode.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to singing happy birthday to your dad, listener. But I guess until that day happens, keep your brain on the outside.
Yeah, keep your brain on the outside.